It's all around us. The yeast is kind of all around us. I mean, that's kind of a crazy thing about it. 99.9 something percent of the beer that's made in the world today in modern brewing is done with a single yeast culture. And they're taking a pure culture in a kind of closed environment where you really only want that one yeast to do all the work of fermentation. We actually aren't adding any cultured yeast whatsoever. We are creating an environment, and that's the coolship vessel itself, that allows natural inoculation of wild yeast bacteria that are resident in this area. There's a very specific overnight temperature and time of year that we target. So we really only brew these beers in November and December. That's kind of a piece of the recipe in a way, is exterior temperature. And if we see a storm coming through that's going to raise the temperature above that range, we'll cancel the brew the day before and wait it out. Take the wort from the kettle at the end of the boil, and instead of going through a closed heat exchanger, which we do for the rest of our beers, we bypass the heat exchanger altogether and go right into the coolship. So that we transfer boiling wort into this cooling vessel, and by that natural cooling in about an 18-hour period of time from the evening to the next morning, we're cooling the wort and inoculating it at the same time with local yeast and bacteria that's floating in the air. Once we get done with the cooling process and the inoculation has occurred of the wort, and it's full of yeast and bacteria, it's ready to ferment, that immediately goes into barrels. So it spends the rest of its life, which is anywhere from a year to 3 years of time, fermenting and aging in oak barrels. What we really want that barrel for is kind of a semi-porous aging vessel that allows some ingress of oxygen in and out, but not completely open. There's natural resident yeast all over the place. Will it produce a beer of good flavor? That's hard to say without going through the exercise of trying it. My belief would be no. Not everywhere could you make a spontaneously fermented beer that had good quality flavor. But for whatever reason, it works here in Portland. It works very well around the Brussels, Belgium area, and probably in a few other places around the world.